name is Giselle, and I'm here to tell you about why commonly eaten oysters are a key to a healthy ecosystem. Did you know that the most important animal in the Chesapeake Bay is the oyster? The reason why these creatures are so important is that each one filters large amounts of water. Oysters are filter feeders. They keep the water in the bay clean by eating or filtering algae and sediments from the water. They are very efficient cleaning machines. This makes oysters crucial to the health of the bay. Without clean water, aquatic plants that live underwater cannot survive. And of course, without underwater plants, other species and creatures cannot survive as well. A single adult oyster can filter up to 50 gallons of water a day. That's as much as a bathtub. This only furthers the idea that oysters need to be protected. In fact, there are many organizations working to protect oysters, such as the ones you will see. Here is the Virginia Institute of Marine Science, or VIMS. VIMS actually runs the largest oyster breeding program in the Commonwealth and beyond. Here they raise oysters from very small spats to adulthood for restoration and the food industry. Here is the kayaking we did here at the park. This was one of the times we got to see oysters in their natural habitat. And of course, the scenery was obviously beautiful. As you will see, there are oysters here that I will show you in a little bit. See, right there. We also got the chance to visit the Brock Environmental Center. This center runs award-winning educational programs. There, we got to learn about oysters and how beneficial they are to the environment. Of course, they also prep oyster shells for use by oyster spats, as well as recycling them, and build cement reef balls for underwater that make an excellent underwater habitat. Many animals and plants live in there, as well as the design serving as a beneficiary to the environment of the water. I also like to take a moment to thank all of our sponsors that made our learning possible. The efforts to keep the bay healthy are truly paying off by educating the youth. Plus, seeing all these beautiful natural scenery is truly a breathtaking experience that I will never forget. Keeping the topic on oysters, I cannot stress enough how important oysters are for the bay. As like I said before, they keep the bay healthy by filtering out all the bad parts of the water, keeping the bay healthy for plants and animals that need the water to be clean. Another reason they're so important is that their homes are ideal living and feeding grounds for a wide variety of animals up and down the food chain. Sadly, disease, overharvesting, and unsustainable harvesting, habitat loss, and sediment buildup have led to a significant decline in the oyster population over the past century.
Hey, you guys ready to release the babies to their home?
Push me forward.
That doesn't matter, inside. Ask the photographer.
Here we are actually releasing oysters back into the water. We made sure to measure them beforehand because transplanting healthy, disease-tolerant oysters into the rivers increases the odds of oyster survival and reproduction. This chart right here clues us in on the fact that cleaned oysters have significant more growth than unclean oysters. Having the measuring system and cleaning the oysters and knowing how they're being affected is a way of maintaining the health of the bay. Here I am holding unclean oysters in a jar. The whole unclean oysters versus clean oysters was an experiment to see whether clean oysters fare better in the environment than unclean oysters. All of this helps the goal of releasing 10 billion oysters by 2025. To help contribute to the 10 billion oyster project goal, we released 8,000 oysters into the habitat to help contribute to bay restoration. Of course, releasing that many oysters will be no easy feat, but with the help of organizations and students alike, we will be able to achieve more sustainability for the ecosystem.